Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you kept getting harmed, you kept getting hurt, you were physically getting harmed, you were mentally getting harmed, but yet you felt like you should keep doing it? My name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. and I was born July 4th of 1986. And today, situation, not just today, but yesterday and the day before, a situation has really brought a lot in me to talk about something that one of my dogs does. And it's very, very interesting because it just really put a lot in me about my own self, of things that I do and things that I've used to do, and especially used to do, that I've really got away from. And that is doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, that is going to 100% harm you. And it's not even going to physically harm you, where it could put you in the hospital, where that's the most case that happens to this dog, that he gets hurt to the point that he can't work anymore. He can't walk even. He can't run. He can't do it. He's got to be on timeout because he got too far deep in it. And then also at the same time, mentally, he really starts to get jammed up because he gets nervous. He gets scared because what it is that the animal was actually able to do to him, where he thought he was tough. He thinks he's tough. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he's got it all figured out, but he comes to realize he's just not meant for that. He's not meant for that work. For me, it really put a lot in me to see what it is he does, to really think about a lot about relationships with people, about what we as humans do with the relationships with other people, where some people physically harm us to the point that we could barely move. We can't do anything. We're just tiptoeing, walking around, barely able to function, barely able to go out. We can't go out in public because then people would start asking some questions and looking at us, to the point that sometimes we end up in the hospital, that we need to get a lot of treatment done because we're not doing too good. And sometimes we got to get like surgery type things done to be able to heal ourselves because of how much we got damaged from physically from what has happened from the other person that's done to us. Then on the other side of that, you got the mental problems that come as far as just not being able to think straight, always feeling like you can't speak, you can't go, you can't do. And then it messes up with your whole mind, because then it kind of makes you think that the whole world is like that, where the whole world is out to get you. The whole world is out to attack you. And that's a situation that in most cases I notice comes to my man Johnny when he wants to come and try to work with some animals, when he knows that he's not supposed to. Not just that he's not supposed to, but just because I can see it in him that that's not what he's supposed to do, because he's doing it in a way of just exciting fear, and a fear that is not healthy, and a fear that is very, very destructive, and a fear that is not bringing him any success and any joy. Where I just noticed a lot where in us and people that we do that same type stuff. We run to things because we're in fear and or lack. We lack, so we have fear. We think that that's the only thing that's going to be available to us. We think that that's the only person that's ever going to be able to get along with us or understand us or want to even be around us. Where we run into a huge amount of fear, and that's why we keep excitingly, hey, Oreo, let's get down. That's why we keep going into certain things, just not really paying attention. Where for him, his excitement gets too much, too far, too harsh, that he just goes straight in, straight forward. Where I've got another animal that does the work that he thinks he wants to do, but is not capable of doing, that he doesn't rush it. He pays attention to it. He thinks about it. He makes moves around it. He starts to get a good understanding of what it is and how to be able to function and how to be able to get away from any attack that were to happen to him. And that's just something that I realized that we really need to start doing more of, which my Border Collie does. And he's a very phenomenal animal with being able to assess a situation, pay attention to the situation, look around to figure out what's going on with the situation, and then go in and make the decision to go ahead and move forward with it. Instead of just rushing straight into it, being so excited. Like, he's excited. He's extremely excited. He's extremely excited. He wants to do it. He wants to get in. He wants to have fun. He wants to move. He wants to do all the playing. But he's thinking it through to figure out if that's going to be a wise decision for him to do or not, or is it going to be a decision that ends up harming him to the point that now he's not going to be able to do it anymore. For the other animal, he just goes straight in every single time. He's just like, you know what? I know it didn't work out last time, but I'm going to go straight forward, straight into it, and just make it happen. And I just noticed that that's what a lot of us do when we get into relationships with people that are extremely damaging, that we may get out of it for a little bit because we get hurt. We get hurt. Our feelings get hurt. We get butt hurt. We get emotionally hurt. We get physically hurt, and then you just walk away from it. But then when that person comes back, or you think in your mind that you need to go back to it because it was something that you did wrong, where I'm going to say that is 100% wrong, or mindset thinking, if you're getting abused to the point of getting harmed, that you think that you have to go back to that person because I'm telling you, they're not the only thing. There is an abundance out here. There's an unlimited abundance. And for dudes, there are an unlimited amount of females, a limited amount of pretty girls out here. For females, there's a limited amount of pretty guys out here. There's an unlimited abundance out here. And we go back head first without like dancing around it to try to see if this is going to be a good idea or not. You get excited because you just want to go back in it. You get excited because you think that there is nothing else. You get excited and then you just head straight in it instead of doing what a border collie does. He stays on the outside a little bit. He assesses the situation. He watches to try to figure out what's going to go on, what's going to happen, and then he goes in a little bit to test it. And then he's like, yeah, see, I didn't like that right there, so I'm going to move over here instead. He does a lot to figure out, is this going to work out for him or not? Is this going to be okay? Instead of just going head first right back into it, thinking that everything is going to be fine, everything is going to be all right. More than likely, what's going to happen is the next time you're going to get hurt even more because you're already a little hurt. So now when you keep getting hurt, and you keep getting hurt, you keep getting hurt, it keeps happening. Each time it just keeps getting worse and worse, that your recovery is longer and longer every single time. And it doesn't matter if it's a physical thing or a mental thing. In most cases, a mental issue is going to cause you more and more pain, longer than any sort of physical damage. You get your arm broken 100 times in 2 weekends, but that's not going to have the same damage as getting something in your core being just destroyed, that you're not going to be able to move on. You're not going to heal from that so fast. Physically, we heal extremely fast. We're extremely amazing beings, creatures of what we are and how we're able to fix ourselves and get ourselves to be better. But as far as our emotions and what's going on inside, that takes some time. And every single time that you just run headfirst into it, you just go, just drive right in. I'm telling you, you're gonna hurt yourself harsher and harsher every single time. Because I just noticed that every single time that he has it in him where he's just gonna, I'm gonna like slip behind your back and do something. Because that's what he has to do today to be able to want to do something, want to do some work with the animals, that he has to try to hide it from me. He can't just like, let's go out there and do something, because he already knows that I'm not gonna let him, because he already knows that he's gonna get hurt. And so he tries to go behind my back about it. And then every single time that he tries to say, go behind my back to do something, he notices, man, I just keep getting messed up. And then he gets more and more messed up to the point that he's just scared that he's not going to be able to do it. So then he just does it even more. And it just really jams him up even more to the point that he's not getting the success that he thinks that he wants in the end. That he notices, and today he noticed for the first time, I really 100% realized, he realized today, he's just not as tough as he thought he was. He's not as strong as he thought he was. He may have been one day when he was younger. If I could have got him as a puppy to build him up, to be able to work him. But he's just not as tough as he thinks he truly is. And that's something for me that just really puts a lot of thought in me about us as humans when it comes to, we think that we're so tough, but we come to realize we're not really nearly as tough as we think that we possibly are. That something else is much more greater than what we are. And they have much more invested in what it is that they're looking for than you do. When you're looking for something fun and exciting and awesome, where that other person is not looking at it that way at all. They're looking at it as, how can I destroy you? Because that's how, I'll say the cows. That's the main thing he likes to run at, is the cows. The cows are big, the cows are powerful. The cows are not in it to play. They're in it to survive. They're in it to thrive in a way of being scared, and being scared means they're going to do some things that are going to be very tough to be able to make sure that they do stay alive, knowing that they see what looks like a threat, as opposed to the other animals looking at it like it's exciting. This is fun. I could get y'all to run around and move around and make you stay in the barn. This is really cool. But the other party isn't looking at it like that. And that's something that I think a lot of us really need to really pay attention to, that we are excited about getting into something and working with someone and doing things with somebody, but that other person, they're not looking at it like that. They're looking at it in a way of, how can I gain and get and stay alive and make sure that nothing can penetrate through me, nothing can harm me, nothing can hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you first to make sure that you can't hurt me. That's just a very unfortunate circumstance that I noticed that we constantly keep doing. And I've been a part of that in long ago. What is that, like 20 years? Dang, it's been a while now. Oh my goodness. And a long time ago, and it's just a very interesting situation that I know that I'm just not the only and the unique person on this planet that has had a lot of issues go on with me. That sometimes there's some things I want to talk about that I just don't in reality want to talk about, but I don't get a choice. I just have to say what it is, and I have to say what comes to me, and that's how I'm able to keep on doing what it is that I'm doing in reality, to keep on focusing on growing and cruising and making happen what I need to make happen on this planet. And with that, man, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the insight and the understanding and the wisdom to be able to just watch something around me, pay attention to something around me, to see other people around me, to see other beings around me, other animals around me, other things of wildlife around me, to just get interesting ideas of things that I've done in my life. Because when I watch these animals, I don't know what it is about it, but I watch them, I see what they do. I just really study them. I just sit and that's my TV show, is just sitting and watching these animals. And I'm so thankful for that. But I just sit and I watch them. And I just get a real good understanding of what it is that they do and how it is that they act exactly like the ways that we do. They each have some little thing about us as humans inside of them that they do something that is super, I mean, it is dead on 100 with what human beings do. Every little thing out here has that. And so it's just me that I just have a good understanding of just believing and seeing that every single animal and every single thing out here has a little bit that makes up us as being a whole. They all have a little sliver of who we are. And every time that I see a little bit go on with a different behavior, with a different animal, a different species, a different way, a different intermingling of species, I just start to really think a lot about what it is that I've done in my life and been through in my life and been a part of in my life. Just realizing that a lot of these issues, problems, challenges that I had were challenges out of, like the dog, for instance, being too excited, being too excited, thinking that we're going to have some fun, thinking that we're going to be playing, thinking that things are going to be good to go, not knowing that the other person isn't looking at it as fun. They were looking at it as a means of survival. They were looking at it as a means of trying to take advantage of in reality. And maybe even not intentionally in their mind up front thinking that or believing that, but coming down to the end of it, realizing that that is in reality just what it is, because the people just keep doing the same stuff over and over again. Where the other side of it, the other folks don't keep doing that. They keep getting, say, hurt in a different way, but the other folks keep hurting. And it's a very interesting situation that I just noticed that we run into, that some people are just the same and they're never going to change. And they may say that they're going to change for 5 minutes or 5 days, and it may look like they did for a month or 3. But that's about the longest that I'm going to say a lot of these people are able to change is about a month, about 2 months is the max at it, because they just can't, they have to default back into what they are, because they're living in this extreme amount of, I don't know, but pain, an extreme amount of rage and anger, an extreme amount of just frustration that they have to lash out and they have to let it out on somebody. And that's the main thing that I study with my man Johnny, that's what he has inside of him. And he just came to me with that we've been working on that. We've been getting past that. We've been able to do a lot with that. But he just has this like, I could do whatever I want inside of me. That is not a healthy, I could do whatever I want. It's a very out of control, and it needs to be more in control. And that's probably the main reason why I still have that dog, keep working with him, that I'm not ready to rehome him, even though he has good times. He has got a lot of good times, but he has these that little issue in him that he's just, I could do what I want to do, and I could do it behind your back. And that's something that, for me, it's a blessing for me to be able to have and to keep on working with. And I'm just so thankful to be able to have such a thing, that it still doesn't frustrate me in any way. It just gives me another way of being able to just keep on working on something and keep on experiencing life in a different way. That for me, I do for some reason just like challenges. I don't like it to be so simple and so easy. I like it with my dogs, and I tell any and everybody that, and especially everybody I work with, that I like it when my dog gave me some pushback. It lets me know that I'm alive. It lets me know that I'm real. It lets me know that I'm not just in some fake fairy tale life that's just everything is given. No, this is challenging. And it makes me always have to be high on my toes of what's going to happen and what's going to go down. And if I do this, what's going to go on? And if I go too far with that, what's going to happen? If this dog is over here and he doesn't have this and that, and what's going to happen? It's interesting to have a challenge, and I appreciate the challenge. But I appreciate the challenge knowing that I'm in, like, just not control of the challenge, but I'm not in a way of feeling that I need it and I have to have it. And if I don't have it, then I'm not going to be able to survive. That's a very toxic thing to be in. And I know 100% fact that I used to be in that. I used to think that I needed certain things and certain people to be able to just get by and make it through the day. And I've come to realize that that is 100% false information, that we can do what we need to do all on our own. And what it is that I do so deep on my own out here is not for everybody. But there's many people out here that definitely need to practice that, knowing how to get away from some folks and do some things on your own. Just go somewhere by yourself. No music, no movies, no tunes, no nothing. Just go out, go somewhere, be gone for 8 hours, and just do it. Just make it happen. And even if it is just going for a drive, turn the radio off and just drive. Just listen to the world. Roll the window down and listen to what's going on around you. That some people need to really just do that, to be able to upgrade and ground themselves, to be able to realize that you can do some incredible things on this planet. And I hope that y'all have a great week, because this week for me has been a different one. I've been doing a lot more of my outside, working on my animals work, and working with my dogs a whole lot more. just dialing that up some more. Got some interesting things that are going to be coming forward with that. And I'm just super thankful to continue to keep on being out here to do what it is that I do, and having the patience to be able to keep doing what I'm doing, and never just giving up, never looking at a situation like, yeah, this isn't going to work out, so I just quit. Because in reality, I mean, my May for sure, even though she's laying right here all pretty now, she's a completely different dog this past couple of weeks, I will say. But my Johnny, man, he's the type of dog that just is wild in reality. That I still haven't given up on him. I still keep working with him, still keep playing with him, still keep feeding him, still keep hanging with him, still keep teaching him, still keep training him, and it's just an absolute blessing to be able to have that. And I hope that whatever you have in your life that is super challenging like that, you got to look at it in a different way. Don't look at it in a way that you need it or you're not going to survive. You got to look at it in a way of, I got to make sure that I'm good to go, because if it's destroying me, then I can't be around it. If that Johnny man was destroying me, he was bringing me down, he was hurting me, then yeah, I wouldn't keep him around. There's no reason to do that, because it's just, that's very, very damaging. That's very, very, very hard to deal with. But for me, I don't know. I enjoy the challenge. Thank you.